So we have our drop-down toolbars up here, our node tree here, draw space in the center. So this is where we're going to be drawing our blockware and making connections and creating tags and things like that. And then the block and connection menu on the right side. So that's the general layout of the software. So we can go through the menu on the right side of the screen. The discrete and analogs are in the same menu and just listed alphabetically. So down at the bottom of the block and connection menu, you see that we have two tabs, one for blocks and the other for connections. In order to create a block in the draw space, we're going to come over to our block and connection menu. We're going to click and hold on one of the blocks here. So let's just pick a delay after energized time delay relay. We're going to click and hold, and we're going to drag it into the draw space. And then when we release our mouse button, it's going to drop it into the draw space. And we can do this, obviously, as many times as we need to. And once it's in the draw space, then we can hover our mouse over the block, click and hold, and then we can move the block around within the draw space. We can also resize the block. So if you hold your cursor over the shadow box around the block until you get a little icon that looks like this, click and hold, and then you can resize the block. Also, if you have a scrolling wheel on your mouse, you can zoom in and out of the page by scrolling up to zoom in or scrolling back to zoom out. For the block number, we started with the first block here, and that was automatically assigned the block number of 0. Drop the second block, that assigned the block number of 1, and you can see that here. So the first block that we dropped here was block 0. The next block is block 1, third block is block 2, and the sequence would continue. Now, the reason that these blocks are numbered in this way is if you look at towards the top of the page, the Draw Tools toolbar. So if you're not in that toolbar, you can click on that. And then towards the right side of that toolbar, we'll see this section called the block number section. So this section is what determines the block numbering. The top number here is the next block number. So this is where the block number of the next block that you put on the page is assigned. So let's say instead of block number 3, we want the next block to be 200. So then we would go over to the block and connection menu, and we'll drop a front panel constant. Now you see that that block is now block 200. And you see that once we drop that block, the next block number counted up by 1. The reason that it counts up by 1 is because of the next piece of information here, which is the increment. So the increment sets the number by which the next block number will count. So if this increment were changed to 3, and then we were to drop a block, that is block 201, and then the next block number would be 204.